Joshua Hammer, tell me the story of Abdelkader, a librarian who effectively became an operator slash spy to save hundreds of thousands of ancient manuscripts.
Indeed. He was a mild-mannered librarian, manuscript collector in Timbuktu in the country of Mali in northern Africa, who had basically rediscovered a great tradition of lost manuscripts from the 15th and 16th centuries in Timbuktu, restored them, built libraries, and then in 2012 Al-Qaeda and its affiliates invaded the north of Mali, seized most of that region as large as France, and threatened to destroy the manuscripts, at which point Abdelkader decided he had to do everything in his power to save them.
And how was he going to do it?
So the first step was to work late at night with flashlights because the jihadis had cut all power to the city after dark, gathering these manuscripts into footlockers, trunks.
And he did get these manuscripts out of Timbuktu and to a safe place. For him, was it about preserving the manuscripts, or was it also about preserving the message of these manuscripts?
It was both. The manuscripts were seen as the patrimony of Mali. They were the physical evidence of a great period in this, what is now one of the poorest countries in the world, but what was at one time the center of a great empire across northern Africa, and Timbuktu was the cultural capital and economic capital of that empire. So these manuscripts were the physical evidence, tangible evidence of that great period of history. Secondly, of course, it was the content. It was what these manuscripts evinced. They proved that a multicultural, secular and religious societies could coexist as they did at the height of Timbuktu's power in the 16th century. You had Qurans, you had Hadith, the sayings of the Prophet. You also had books about, you had manuals to better sex. You had love poetry, you had mathematics, astronomy, medicine, traditional medicine, books about music, you name it.
So they were manuscripts that preached a version of pluralism and inclusivity in Islam.
Totally.
Where are they today?
They are in the capital city of Mali, Bamako, a dusty, poor capital. They're now in about a dozen climate-controlled, large storage rooms, preserved, protected with Western funding, until he decides that it is okay to bring them back to Timbuktu. The conditions are safe enough that they can be returned to the libraries from where they were taken.
Which they aren't quite yet. Joshua Hammer, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.